Good evening everyone and welcome along to TTML. We are here for F1 tonight. Of course it is the sprint race and the feature race for the British Grand Prix here at the Silverstone International Circuit. My name is James Hay, going to be taking you to the stream as always on a Sunday night. And joining me in the commentary box of course is Mr. Pepsi Freak. Pepsi, how you doing?
That long pause had me a little worried for a second. Something went wrong, but we're good here to go, and it should be a fun race. And like I said, it's a sprint race, so you get two for the price of one here for the viewers, and we get to see double the action in the same time frame as usual.
Definitely so, and honestly, if it's anything like F2, we could see some really good action, of course, out on track. Certainly kept me on my toes. Hopefully, though, I won't be able to lose my voice like I did nearly on Thursday as well. Looking through the standings, of course, coming into tonight, just to remind you, of course, of what happened actually in Spain last week. And what was a Red Bull 1-2? It was Jensen out on top, MedTC second, Boss Wanted in third. And, well, the same consistent theme actually runs through in terms of the standings. Jensen leading the way on 60 points, MedTC in second on 45, Boss Wanted in third on 32, Lynx in 4th on 31, Black Box in 5th on 29, Funky Chicken in 6th on 27, fresh from his LOE F2 victory around Saudi Arabia last night, Rudy in 7th on 25, Smalley in 8th on 23, Cosbury in 9th on 19, and Khan somehow in the top 10 on 15 points, along with Arez also tied on 15 points. Then we've got Fleddy on 13, Basti on 12 along with Zoidemer, Chris on 9, ran off the top 15, Chalkers, Bramer, have got 8 points. Hyper, Harry Banks. Hyper's the only one that I can't even get my words out. The only other driver that has scored points with 7. Harry Banks and Lucas so far haven't scored points either. And looking at the top end of the standings, obviously Pepsi, Jensen and MedTC, ever consistent, and of course Red Bull obviously leading the constructor standings as well. Both of them, I think, have been very consistent in the first 2 rounds.
That they have. They've been 1-2 and 1-3 and 1-2 respectively, if I'm not mistaken, and it's been quite a dogfight up front, but Jensen's been the kind of the lead man so far. But MedTC probably will bring the thunder soon. And we also got 2 things to note. Rudy, remember, after last week in Spain, had that unfortunate incident on lap 1, is looking to, after winning the LOE race, looking to try to take that momentum, maybe use it as a way to get back into the standings here and try to get back up that top dog fight. And before the broadcast, you were a little bit shocked that Khan was 10th position, but it just shows that, like how I do in my league racing, consistency matters. If you show up every week and you just get some points, you'll be able to kind of climb up the standings and be in a position where you may not usually be looking at your driving pace throughout week to week.
Yeah, consistency I think is absolutely key, given of course that we pay, top 19 I think, getting positions, getting points, obviously 20th position, not picking up a point if I'm not mistaken, unless they do pick up a point. Anyways, you can tell in terms of the consistency, every point matters, I think, in terms of the standings, is what I'm trying to go on about. Of course, looking at the constructors as well, better going into one-shot qualifying, of course. Red Bull leading the way on 105 points, Mercedes in second on 52, McLaren in third on 44, Alpine in fourth on 32, Aston Martin in fifth on 29, Haas in sixth on 26, Ferrari in seventh on 23, Alfa Romeo in eighth on 23 as well, AlphaTauri in ninth on 15, and Williams in 10th on 9 points. Red Bull, of course, have got it between themselves, of course, as we mentioned, Jensen and MedTC at the top end of the standings in terms of the drivers, and also in terms of the constructors. Red Bull look quite unbeatable, to be honest, here out on track. But we are here in my homeland, of course. It is the British Grand Prix here at Silverstone, 5.9 kilometres in length, 18 turns awaiting the drivers out on track, and of course, Pepsi, one-shot qualifying to determine who is going to be on pole position for sprint qualifying, and this is going to be really determined, I think, on one-shot pace and one-lap pace.
Yeah, it's going to be a good, because you can't make a mistake. It's one lap, and if you make a slight error, it may be a pole run to a 6th or a 7th. So, and since it's only a 25% race, it's very hard to kind of dig yourself out of that hole quite early. But it can be done. We've seen it where the driver that may have been 10th or 11th was able to leap himself up to 3rd, 4th, or 5th to start the featured race. So it can be done, but you don't want to put yourself in that hole early and get yourself behind the 8 ball when points are available.
Yeah, definitely so. I'm just trying to get the stream chat up, by the way, on the right-hand side. I had a full screen for a second there. Don't know what I did. Good evening to everyone, by the way, that is tuning in to the stream here for TTML F1 tonight. Hope you're all doing well. Let it be known in the comment section who you actually are, so I can actually read them out, of course, as we go along the stream. But one-shot qualifying, it is, like F2, beautiful blue skies and sunshine, which is very good to see, and gives everyone, I think, a very fair playing field. And in terms of one-lap pace around here, Pepsi, I know Jensen Jenson's quite quick around here. I know MedCC's quite quick around here. Anybody else that's obviously going to try and be up there in terms of one-shot qualifying and try and get towards the top end of the field in sprint qualifying?
Again, you can't doubt against Rudy. We know Rudy's got pretty good pace, so he's definitely someone to keep an eye on as well. As long as he keeps a good one lap, it should be fine. We could also maybe throw out a noise to maybe not Boss One per se, but the rest still looking pretty good, I'd say, at least on pace. But I think it's going to be the top three looking to kind of pull that away. It's going to probably be either Rudy, Jensen, or MedTC.
Very interesting indeed. Neymar was shouting Con, by the way, in the comment section. He's saying he's quick around here. Let's see, though, on board with TTG Chris, as we can now come down in towards turn number 1. Got the telemetry and everything up on the right-hand side. He misses the curb through Abbey, now through Farm, and then in towards turn number 3 at Village. Ares currently up there at the top. Tom, by the way, also returning to the league. He's had a set of medium compound tyres, which is quite interesting. Chris now coming through Village, in toward the loop, and then in towards Aintree. Down the Wellington Straight we now come, and now coming down in towards turn number 6. Chris, 27.5 through the first sector. Currently 13th, Ares, Jensen, and Rudy are currently out on top. Chris has dropped down to the back of the field, so we're now going on board with Rudy, who is looking quite quick early on in the Mercedes. And that comes through in towards Booker Corner at turn number 8, and of course, down in towards turn number 9 at Cops, the all turn 1 around here. Of course, Verstappen and Hamilton collided there in real life as Rudy now flies through turn number 9. 180 miles an hour carried as we now come through the left-hander of turn 11 through Maggots, and then into the Beckett section of this complex through 13 through 14, and Rudy really nice, I've got to say, through there on the exit of Chapel at turn 14, and now on the run down with a 102.9 in the middle sector. Davey is retired from the session, not sure if he picked up an invalidation, but Jensen, Rudy, Carlsbury currently up there as well. Shazoo Tom's looking quick in that set of mediums. Rudy now coming through and in towards Vale, and then in towards Club. Now in towards Vale, of course, where Verstappen and Vettel made contact in 2019 through the right-hander of 17, now through 18. Jensen, I think, is going to nip his old rival. Jensen to the line, does get it by 300ths of a second from Rudy there in second. Daniel, interestingly, in third. Cosby lost a lot of time, I think, in the final sector. He was up there in third, coming through Stowe, but he's down there in 8th position in the end. Jensen, though, out on top. Rudy in second, Daniel in third. Very close qualifying, and that's exactly what we expected.
I think the one thing worth noting is MedTC and two other drivers decided to go for a set of mediums on their qualifying run instead of a set of softs for their one shot. The other drivers were Tom and Fletty. So, bit of a shock choice here with it being such a short race, but mediums to softs is the ideal strat. And with Tom getting inside the top 10, it's going to give him an alternate option. But with Fletty and MedTC both being outside that top 10 range, maybe they kind of shot themselves in the foot there for being just off, because now they get everyone outside the top 10 gets free choice. So, bit of an odd call, but at least Tom's going to be kind of maybe the cat that's eating the cream.
Yeah, definitely so. I've got to try and do as fast as 20 drivers in one sentence. Jensen, Rudy, Daniel, Zoidemer, Hyper, Tom, Lynx, Colsbury, Chalkers, Boss Wanter, Fleddy, Black Box, Med TC1, Rocco, Khan, Smalley, Funky Chicken, Arrows, Chris, Davey. There you go.
Yeah, that was in 8 seconds.
8 seconds, pretty good going indeed. And now, of course, we get in towards spring qualifying. The advantage, as you said there, medium to soft strategy, remember, it's only a 25% race. We saw Neymar in TTML F2, I saw Neymar on TTML F2, go on to a set of hard compound tyres. Now, I'm not sure if it was the wrong call. I'm sure he can answer for himself in the comment section. I'm not sure if it was the wrong call or he selected the wrong tyre, but certainly a set of hard compound tyres around here, you do not want to be going on. But it is, as I say, Jensen out on top, Rudy in second, and for the first time, of course, this evening, it does look pretty overcast over the circuit, of course, bordering two actual counties, this circuit, Nottinghamshire, Northamptonshire, I should say, and Buckinghamshire, of course, and of course it is the site of the former airfield in World War II, and good to see as well, I've got to say, when we run through the 20 drivers, few drivers there running the Ukrainian flag, and I fully commend and fully support that cause, and I'm sure we all do at this stage. Hopefully everyone puts on a very good performance, of course, here tonight. But Jensen out on top, Rudy in second. How do you think the race is going to play out?
Well, one thing I do want to say before we talk about the race, though, is since Neymar is the engineer of Khan, hopefully the hard strategy isn't in the lexicon here today. But I think the race is going to play out. I think it's going to be Rudy and Jensen battling near the top here, but don't sleep on Tom in those mediums, because I think if he can stay on that one-lap pace and stay to that pit stop window, he definitely could be maybe third best driver, fourth best driver here, maybe even be a shock second if he gets the call right. So I think Tom's kind of my dark horse to watch here, because he's got those mediums, and he can make that alternate work, he may be a threat to be starting pretty high for the main race.
Yeah, he's very quick. He's a very quick driver around here as well, Tom. Just found why they're coming through turn number 3. There's a predicted pit stop strategy. Now, don't take that with a pinch of salt. Mediums to softs there, lap 5 to lap 12. Great graphics, I've got to say, AWS. Jensen, though, out on top, Rudy in second, Daniel in third. I always think, from a set of soft compounded tyres, you're going to be pitted in lap 4, lap 5. On a set of medium compounded tyres, you're going to be pitching in around lap 8, lap 9, and then going into a set of soft compounded tyres towards the end of the race. Of course, it is the longest pit lane on the F1 calendar here, more than 30 seconds. I think it's something like 32 seconds, if I'm not mistaken, the actual pit stop around here. So it's a very, very long pit lane, and it just comes to show the undercut strategy is probably more potent than the overcut, especially if you go a couple of laps longer into the race. We saw that in F2, of course, with a few drivers going a little bit longer. And then, of course, they got out in front of the rivals that they were actually in front of. But Jensen out on top, Rudy in second, Daniel in third. How's this one going to play out? Because I'm looking through the strategies, and I've seen Juan Rocco there, 14th position, the Spaniard, in there on a sort of soft compounded tyres, and that could be quite an interesting mix there. Of course, he's behind MedTC, who's down in 13th.
He's banking just to get to that field quickly and carve him up to the point and then just hold on. That's his strategy call here. And I don't like that odd strategy choice because, like I said, it seems like mediums to softs is the way to go, especially outside the top 10, especially around here. But to each his own, and maybe he'll teach us something that we are not thinking of. But I think it plays out. Like I said, I think Jensen and Rudy battle it out, and I'd say keep an eye on Tom. I think he is our dark horse here to maybe, just maybe, sneak something out. Like Neymar in F2, be that wild card.
Yeah, Zoidemo, I think, as well, has got a chance from 4th position. He's starting on the dirty side of the grid, near to the pit wall, but he has been quite quick around here in the past, and I've commentated on him in LOE Division 1, I think 2 seasons ago now, and I'm pretty sure he picked up a 5th position there in LOE, so Zoidemo will be hoping for a very good result here tonight, though. Jensen, though, out on top, Rudy in second, Daniel in third. We better get going, though, for the actual sprint qualifying, and it is going to be a fantastic race, I guarantee it. There's going to be plenty of drama, I think, off the start as well. Hopefully we are going to get underway very soon indeed. I hope we're not frozen on the actual grid. And it looks like we might be, as Tom... No, here we go. 5 red lights are about to go out here. And it's a very glitch 5 red lights. And, oh wow, yeah. I think we might need a restart, but it is lights out. And away we go. Jensen does get a good start, but Daniel, all the way around the outside, is absolutely contact coming through turn number 1. Haas off there was hyper. Rudy, though, leads the way. Jensen in second, Daniel in third. Links there in fourth, more carnage coming through Village. That's a Ferrari, and that's Chalkers that is round, but Rudy leads the way. Jensen in second, and Jensen didn't expect the start. Don't think anybody expected that start, to be honest. Rudy leading the way. Jensen there in second, Daniel in third. Links now on the back of him, the Dutchman down the inside line of Daniel in towards turn number 6 of Brooklands. Tries to get the move done all the way around the outside now for Luffield. Should get the move done here, and Links just about gets the move done. Nice move that by Links. He's doing it into third, but he's already lost 1.1 seconds to the back of Jensen, who in turn is 6 cents behind Rudy, but Rudy leads the way. Jensen in second, Links in third. Further side by side action, Boss Swanson and Tom, but getting quite close in towards Cops. Both from Hyper and Chalkers spinning around. There was a bit of carnage coming through Abbey and Farm for lap 1, but Rudy leads the way. Jensen in second, Links in third, and finally we settled down after what looked like a very weird lights glitch.
Yeah, it looked like I was looking for the back of the field there. I saw a Ferrari. I believe it may have been Chalkers or maybe Khan. He got a good jump on the line, and a few other drivers didn't go. So I do think some may have had just a slight advantage of the others, but it doesn't look like it played out too much there. You got Juanjo passing Arizona. There goes Juanjo. So that soft strategy's not going to play out here for him well, and now he's going to be behind the 8 ball, hard into the wall, into the back there. Luckily, no rear wing damage. We do got Metsusi, Chicken, Christie, and Aries pitting, so I guess they all have some sort of damage there from the start, at the very least. Maybe stuff we didn't see. We'll see if they do pit for front wing changes, as now Juanjo gets disqualified for blocking the pit lanes, and he'll be starting P20 for the feature, which is just a bit of a kick. But at the very least, he can at least take a grain of salt knowing this isn't the main race, so we'll have time, at the very least, to recover and maybe get some good points for the second race. So at least it's not the end of his day here today. But other than that, though, it looks like everyone's kind of reaching out for the most part. We got Black Box kind of caught the bell end of the train there. But yeah, top 3 are all kind of spaced out, and then you got 3 on down in all big train.
Davey is getting the most positions off the start. He's getting 7 positions there, up to 13th, the Aston Martin. Black Box as well is getting position. Khan is getting 3. Arrows is getting 3. Lynx is getting 4 as well. So they're up there. And actually, Smalley is getting 7 as well. So Smalley's up in 9th. Good start by the Scotsman. But it is Rudy that leads, though. Trying to get one over his old teammate, of course, from last season. Leading the way there ahead of Jensen. Lynx there in 3rd. Daniel in 4th. Carlsbury in 5th. Zoidova in 6th. And I think, back to the start, I just reviewed the start back. It was actually a Mercedes that jumped at the start, so I think it was Funky Chicken who went into the back of either Khan or Chalkers. Ferrari got nearly spun around, and that's why Funky Chicken got front wing damage, because he came into the pit lane, but Thomas also into the pit lane, and that's early on. There's a crash coming through Valen Club. Khan having to take a void in action. I think him and Smalley have came into contact coming through in towards Valen Club. Carsbury is through as well, and Daniel up towards turn 1, so good job there from the Finn. He's up into 4th, but Smalley, I didn't even see what happened there between them both. Was it Chalkers and Smalley, or was it Khan and Smalley that got it contacted around? Because I really didn't see that.
I was kind of looking at Tom to see if I could get a jump, see if he got a front wing change, and I kind of cut late as well, and I'll be honest, I didn't get a good look as well. I kind of saw just the tail end of it. I saw Ferrari kind of sideways, so I can't give you a direct answer on that one. But what shocks me the most is Tom came in, no front wing change, just for a set of softs, so maybe they think the softs can make it 10 laps, but bit of an odd call to switch off the medium so quickly, but he did qualify on them, but still, very odd that the medium runners are pitting before the soft runners, but again, to each his own. But further up the field, we do got some battling in the back of the pack here as long. We do got Daniel and Zoidema kind of close to RG Bargy, not really anything going to happen. Then we got Fletty kind of caught the back of Boss Wanted, gonna maybe make something happen outside of Maggots and Beggots here. Take the long down the hanger straight. Cat, don't knock over my water, as we're gonna keep going down the long straight here. She needs to move so I can see the screen. There we go. And we got Davey on the black box there. Can Davey, one Aston Martin pass the other? Ooh, we got Fletty and Boss Wanted as Fletty makes a pass on Boss Wanted there. As now Fletty up to 7th, Boss Wanted down to 8th. And Zoidema's passing Daniel. And it looks like Zoidema's going to touch wheels. But Zoidema will hold station, at least for now, as we do got more cars coming in the pits.
Yeah, more cars coming in, but Daniel has just been outmastered by Zoidema. Up to P5 he goes, the Dutchman. Then he's into P5. Black Box, Davey and Smalley all into the pit lane. And of course, Davey's actually going to be held up in the pit stops because there's no communication there. Daniel gets caught in the curb coming through turn number 3 and loses a bit of time. There's a yellow flag in sector 2 and 3. Is that Chris that's
Christy.
around coming through Maggots and Beckett? Unfortunate for Chris. He's down there in 18th position. Tom, by the way, I think that's a brilliant strategy that he's actually gone on. He's gone on a set of softs early. Yes, they're going to be worn towards the end of the race, but look at the advantage he just gained compared to Davey and Blackbox. I know they were nowhere near him, but Tom, already in clear air, he's gained a second on Rudy and Jensen alone on that last lap, and he's going to be flying even more. Rudy leads the way. Jensen in second. He's 3/10 off the back of Rudy. Did Rudy made a mistake possibly in the first sector, which we didn't see? Rudy leading the way. Jensen there in second, and Jensen now beginning to crawl all over the back of the Mercedes, and I think Jensen might want to go for this move now, try and get advantage into the pit lane, if he's going to pit in this lap, or does he wait in behind? The Brit on the back of the Dutchman in towards Stowe. Is he going to lunge it? No, Rudy stays ahead. Jensen in second, Lynx in third, and yeah, he does back off the throttle there. None of them, though, insta-pick, then they're going at least one more lap.
The Chalkers passing Khan for 9th, 2 Ferraris fighting. Good race so far for the Ferraris, both 9th and 10th. Took advantage of the chaos, but obviously as they pit, as Khan pits now, they will probably shuffle down a little bit here, but at least, again, it's a learning experience for both of them, and at least they can take it with their hat held high. But yeah, I think everyone's just kind of spacing out for the most part, but I just kind of shocked that MetTC right now is not making more pace. He's now going to pass Funky Chicken, but really shocking to see him down to 13th position, kind of just hanging station at the very least, but maybe again playing the long game at the very least. But he's now around Funky Chicken up to 13th position.
I'll tell you what,
you got Jensen and Rudy. Yeah, something there.
Yeah, Jensen down the inside of Brooklyn's in towards turn number 6, gets the job done on Rudy. He's through and he's into the lead. Rudy's going to try and battle this back though. All the way around the outside of Lovefield. Goodness me, Jensen leading the way. Rudy in second, Lynx there in third. Don't know where that came from. Rudy's on the back of Jensen, down and towards Cops. Can the Mercedes get the move done on the back of the Red Bull? No, I think Jensen is there, but I think he's now put himself into full sensor because Rudy is going to be quicker down the straight. Rudy, if he pits in, if he decides to pit in this lap around, Rudy definitely is going to be in a position where he's going to come in from the race lead, possibly be behind Tom, I think, coming out the pit lane as well, because Arrows certainly is really going to try and attack Jensen in towards turn number 15 at Stowe. Yes, he's going to have to think about going around the outside. Jensen goes deep to defend the position. And Rudy stays in second for now, and Jensen, oh, he nearly faked him coming into the pit lane. Carsbury, though, does. The Finn is in, so Carsbury through, and he was in P4 coming into the pit lane. He's now going to be dropping down the field, of course, but Carsbury into the pit lane, and now he is coming in for a set of medium compound tyres. Probably the wrong strategy to be on, especially as we come through into the second half of the race now.
Yep, top 6 are the only ones that have not pitted so far yet, and they're going a little bit longer in the tooth. But fastest of the drivers that have pitted so far is Tom, as Tom will probably take station. Do you have like sector 2?
Chris.
I think it's Chris, if I'm not mistaken. He'll get it refired, but again, all gone wrong for the Williams driver here today. Now Khan gets 3 from multiple warnings, which could be, again, as it's a sprint race, it does allow them the ability to kind of learn how the car handles in this, so maybe they'll take these with a grain of salt and learn maybe not to have as many warnings going into the race. But yeah, Tom will come out not too far ahead of Carlsby, but with a good distance between them. So keep an eye on Tom when the rest decide to pit. I don't know if he'll get the lead, but he'll definitely be fighting like Lynx and Rudy for top position at the very least.
It's going to be close. I've just had a look at the leader timing. 29.5 seconds. Note that now down towards Brooklands, because that gap is going to disappear quite quickly, I think. 26 seconds now. Tom has just lost a little bit of time. All of these guys are running the DRS train, which I think is really helping them along. It is Jensen leading the way. Rudy in second, though. And Rudy again tries to get onto the back of Jensen. This time, is the fake actually going to work? Probably not, as Jensen will come into the pit lane. Rudy, interestingly, goes on another lap. Lynx has followed them in, and Lynx actually was catching the front two as well. Comes into pit lane, just about gets the brakes on as well. He's into the pit, and I think Lynx has probably got a big chance here. He's going onto that set of medium compound tyre, was catching both Jensen and Rudy, who looked like they're taking a bit more out of their tyres than necessary. Lynx now into the pit lane though. His tyres still look relatively fresh as he comes in.
Yeah, they do look relatively fresh at the very least. It's going to be a race out to sea. Again, can Lynx keep on the back of Jensen? We know Jensen loves fighting away through traffic, can easily get through it like a knife through hot butter. But it looks like, at the very least, Lynx, we haven't really tested him, battle tested yet, so can't he fight
this is going to be
cars
close
that are ahead of him? And yeah, Tom, it's going to be close coming out the pit lane here. You're going to keep an eye on the right of your screen there. There is Lynx. Going to go just side by side of Lynx and just behind Jensen. So couldn't pull it enough. Maybe that DRS was just enough for Jensen to stay just ahead. But now the question is, where will Rudy, Zoidema, and Fletty shake out here? Can they make that overcut work? Or are they going to be a sitting duck maybe at the end of this train?
I think there'll be a sitting duck, to be honest, because Ares is also in there. He's in 7th position at the minute, but he's in a net P4. He's ahead of Carsbury, ahead of Daniel, so that undercut strategy has really came to fruition, both for Shazoo Tom and for Ares, so both AlphaTauris in contention, possibly, for the race win as we get towards the end of this race. But how much has Tom taken out of the sort of soft compound tyres? At the minute, not much, but Jensen beginning to pull away. He's got more ERS than Tom. Tom has had to use him a lot of ERS to my liking. Rudy, Zoidema into the pit lane. Is Fleddy following in as well? Yes, but top 3 are in. Lynx out of the wash coming through the dirty air, and he nearly got lunged out of the dirty air there, coming through Maggots and Beckett, but down in towards Stowe. He's not going to be quite close enough. Carsbury, though, is close enough to the back of Ares. He's going to launch a move in towards Stowe. No, just puts Ares into a little bit of a mistake there. Funky Chicken is through and behind, and Boss Wants, of course, Boss Wanted third in the championship coming into tonight. He's just been overtaken by Funky Chicken, fresh from his victory, as I say, in LOE last night. And it is going to be close between Rudy and Jensen. I think Jensen is going to be comfortably ahead, though, coming on the overcut, coming out of turn number 1. Rudy is side by side with him. Jensen is ahead, though. That is crucial. Tom there in third, and look at where Zoidema has came out as well. Zoidema is going to be ousted on the inside line. Goes Ares, absolutely sends it down the inside line. That's a lovely move by Ares. He is through. Tom is fighting Lynx, by the way, down the straight as well, and Lynx is now on a mission to try and get Tom down in towards Brooklands. Jensen leads the way. Rudy in second, Tom in third, Lynx in fourth. You'll have to take over. My voice is going. Carsbury down the inside line of Zoidema gets the move done through Brooklands.
Yep, I was going to wait till you kick a breath there to kind of come in there. You were doing a great job there, so I wanted to let you finish your piece. But we do got Zoidema on the back, Carlsbury there. We do got some yell for I think that was Daniel going wrong way around. He may have had a slight contact with Fletty.
No,
didn't get a good look at it. It was a self-spin. All right, that's worth noting. But that's this top 4 we got. We got a big train forming. I think Rudy's main saving grace is he got ahead of Tom, because Tom is holding station and staying in this train, but I think those softs are going to cliff maybe 1-2 more laps from now, and he may be a sitting duck, so Lynx may need to force a move sooner rather than later. But it looks like a top 4 breakaway. Aries and guys, now Rudy makes a pass for the lead here on Jensen, and he'll successfully make it happen. So Rudy using those 1 lap fresher mediums to get around Jensen, put Jensen down second, but I don't think that that is the end of the fighting. Long or short of it, I think we're going to see a lot more scrap between the two of them till this race hits its checkered flag. But Jensen gets a little bit of a slow exit here. Could maybe allow Tom to make a launch possibly, but Jensen gets a slightly better exit. So it looks like Jensen will hold station at least for now. But again, top four breaking away. And Aries, even though he is on a set of soft tires, is kind of struggling to stay with his teammate Tom in this second pack.
Yeah, at the minute he's 7/10 off. He's obviously on 6-lap old softs. Are they going to puncture towards the end of the end of the race? I'm thinking possibly. I'm not sure though. Lynx is going to attack Tom though. In towards Brooklands, you can see him using up the slipstream down in towards turn number 6 at Brooklands. Doesn't get the move done. Boss Wanted, I think, is going to be side by side with Funky Chicken. He just backs off slightly, and Boss Wanted stays in behind on the back of the Funky. Rudy leads the way to the Funky. Jensen in second, Tom in third. I don't know what I said there, to be honest. Lynx on the back of Tom once again. Daniel, I think, has gone round again. Or he's in actually a three-way fight with Davey at this moment in time. And Davey's on the outside line of him, so Davey's got the move done on... Chalker's got the move done on Davey even. So Chalker's through and he's into 15th. Davey through and he's into 16th. They've both got Daniel and all that, so Daniel's lost 2 positions. Lynx once again on the back of Tom. Nobody, though, is close enough down in towards Cops, and we remain still coming through Stowe, in fact, as Rudy leads the way. Jensen in second, but I get the sense of, with Ares catching him behind, I get the sense of it's going to come into a Constantino effect. Something is going to happen.
Yeah, someone's going to make something. It reminds me of a CWC race where the top 4 were all in this big train, and they were just fighting here around Silverstone. No one can make a lunge because anytime someone had to pass, the other one passed right back, or they stayed in elation. So if you're 4th or 5th, I don't really know what you can do. Funky Chicken kind of sinking like Sony side by side with Black Box. And successfully hold the spot. Matt TC's off, you are correct. Hard into the wall there. Luckily, the wheel is still on, so he'll keep it fired, but nowhere to go for Matt TC. And again, from bad to worse for Matt TC, and it looks like he's going to be behind the 8 ball for the race. At the very least, he'll get it back on the racing surface here, but now going to be behind Daniel, and with old softs, it may not be pretty. Is Smalley going to make a move on Black Box, and Smalley will successfully pass Black Box and put Smalley up to 11th. Well, Black Box thought about hanging around the outside, but nowhere to go. No switchback maneuver here tonight, at the very least for now. But with 4 laps to go, to finish my point, if you're Aries or if you're Carl Street, what can you do to make something happen? You're stuck in a train.
Yeah, you're going to be stuck in a train. He's 3/10 off the back, and this DRS train is actually really helping him rather than hindering him. He's got to save up those tyres, though, for a real challenge towards the end of the race. Tom, by the way, is now on the back of Jensen, and Jensen, do you know what, is going to go for the race lead all the way around the outside and towards Stowe. The Shazoo man hangs it around the outside of his teammate. Lovely move by Jensen. Cuts him off at the pass, and now Tom is going to get through, shooting down the inside of Vale, and Rudy gets back at Jensen. It's 3 wide and towards Vale and Club. Rudy has to take avoiding action, hits the inside curb, and now opens up a whole can of worms in behind. Tom, though, on the back has picked up a 3-second penalty of Jensen. Jensen leads the way. Tom in second. Rudy and Ares are side by side, and Rudy nearly lost the control of the car through turn number 1. Somehow he's kept that going, I do not know, and he's still going to get the move done in towards turn number 3. Absolutely insane racing by Rudy. Ares on the outside line, might just get him for traction, and he has got him for traction. He's into 4th. Tom now going to fight on the back of Jensen. Shazoo 1-2 at the minute. I don't think it'll be for that long, because Lynx is right in there pitching. Ares there in 4th, Rudy in 5th, Cosby in 6th, and now we can take a little bit of a breather. Jensen leads the way, Tom in 2nd, Lynx in 3rd, and all of that spawned really from Rudy just losing it basically. Jensen just missed timing his cut across basically in towards Stowe. All of that came from there and opened up a whole can of worms, and now Rudy's down in 5th.
I just said, as we're getting near the end of this race, people are going to get a little more antsy to make a move, and they're going to see opportunity. They're going to strike, because if you're 5th in this line or 4th in this line, you can't wait till the last lap to make a jump to the light. You have to go right now and try to get yourself in a position to make it happen. Tom saw the piece and had to go for it, but the problem is both Tom and Aries both have 3 seconds, and with Boss Wanted just at the end in 9th position, probably the range. We do got Rudy. I'll finish that spot in a second, as Rudy's going to try to make a move on the other AlphaTauri of Aries, and he'll successfully make it happen. So Rudy up the 4th position, at the very least for now, but Tom and Aries are going to lose out big here, and they could fall down to maybe 9th or even 10th because of this DRS train. So just shows that getting a 3 late is really going to hinder them at the very least, and Tom and Aries are going to need a miracle in order to start up in the top half of this field. But as they kind of go off into Village here, it's going to be a kind of still side-by-side at the very least, but yeah, just buying station, and we'll see with the last lap, maybe someone will get a little bit antsy, maybe try something that they probably shouldn't.
Yeah, possibly so. Jensen leads the way. There's the penalties, by the way, everyone. Tom's got 3, Ares got 3, Smalley on 3, Khan on 3, Davey on 6, Daniel on 3, Chris on 3, Fleddy's down the inside of Zoideman, nearly in towards Brooklyn's, got close. But these two, I was actually going to say, Fleddy's just waiting behind, possibly waiting for everything to happen in front of him. He now needs to get a move on, because if he wants to start in the top 7, of course, he has to try and get that set of soft companion tyres towards the end. He's hit traffic, basically, and he can't go anywhere. That's why we're not seeing him overtake as much as necessary. There is a yellow flag in Sector 3, that is MedTC, that is round thing coming through Vale and Club, but Jensen leads the way. Tom there in second, Lynx in third. Is Tom now going to make the move on Jensen? I think he might, you know. He's close enough onto the back of Jensen. Is the AlphaTauri going to pass the sister car? He does. Tom down the inside line, in towards 7:15, gets the job done, and takes the lead of the race, but I think he's gone too early, I think. Jensen there in second, Rudy down the inside of Lynx in toward Vale and Club, sends it down the inside line. Lynx is going to hold the inside line, though, onto the Hamilton straight for the final time. Tom leads the way. Jensen in second, Lynx just about holds third from Rudy, and now this pack begins to get spaced out as we come onto the final lap.
As long as Freddie stays on his pack, he'll be okay, because remember, we got Aries and Tom with both penalties. They will fall at the very least to 8th, maybe 9th, so maybe 8th and 9th respectively, so at least there's going to be a little bit of fall here. So Tom, good to try to win the moral battle, but probably won't win the war at the very least. Jensen, he's got enough cushion behind. He doesn't have to force an issue on Tom here and possibly end up taking himself out, because right now, it's better to start P2 than maybe P6, so the question mark is, will we see any drivers maybe try a quick lunge here, because we know they're racers, they want as many positions as they can, but if you make a mistake, let's say go through the last section, Maggots and Beckett's, and take yourself out, or get a penalty, you may end up starting 10th, 11th, 12th, maybe 18th, so it's better kind of just to hold station. So we may see a driver kind of go for the winning opportunity if they see it, but it's not worth wrecking the car over. But tell that to these drivers when they're in the heat of the moment. They will definitely, at the very least, try to make something happen. But we're coming through the Sector 3 here. We're going to start here again. Tom leads away Jensen. We got Lynx, Rudy, Aries, Carlsby, Zoideman, Fleddy here, top 8. As Jensen's going to get a good toe off the straight here on Tom. He's going to think about it. He's going to take it. He's going to successfully go for it. Thinks he can make it work, and he'll successfully have it. So Jensen not going to let the opportunity go. Didn't have to force it, but wants it anyway on track. He'll be in first position. We got Chicken passing Smalley further back, but we got Jensen, Tom, Lynx, Rudy, and that's how they're going to hit the line here, as Jensen will take the sprint race victory. Tom in second will start falling down the order. Lynx will end up being second. Rudy third. Carlsby fourth. Tom at least come home P5, so at least he can hold his head on that high. Fleddy 6th, Zoideman 7th, Aries 8th, Boss 1 and 9th. Black Box 10th, Chicken 11th, Smalley 12th, Khan 13th, Davey 14th, now 15th because of penalties. Hyper's going to come home at 16th, and then you got Daniel, Christie, and MedTC rounding out 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th respectively. But if that is what the race is going to be like, the featured, I think we're in for quite a treat.
I think we are in for quite a treat, honestly. Jensen wins, though. Lynx in second, Rudy in third. Ares, by the way, he was I think he finished in 5th position in the end, ahead of Carlsbury. And he's dropped all the way down the field. In fact, he finished in 4th, I should say, Ares. I think, just looking through, there is a Red Bull ahead. Did he finish in 5th? I think he finished in 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
It was Jensen, Tom, Rudy. There was Jensen, Tom, Lynx, Rudy, Aries, Carlsbury, Fleddy, Zoidema was your top 7, 8 there. So, yeah. Fleddy made the pass at the end, though. It's good for him at the very least. But, yeah, it just shows that getting a penalty late really hinders your experience there. And, again, the AlphaTauris have no one to blame but themselves there. But at least they're still starting in the top half of the field. At least Aries gets a consolation prize as driver of the day.
Yeah, definitely so. Fantastic drive, obviously, from Ares getting driver of the day. But to the top step of the podium, can anybody stop him? It's Jensen once again at the top step of the podium. Fantastic result, of course. He does pick up the 10 points, of course, with the point system here for the actual sprint race. It is different to the feature race. So, he picks up 10 points, and of course, as Pepsi's already mentioned, the top 7 do get points, plus the fastest lap, which I think also went to Jensen. So, he gets an extra point as a result of that flying final lap that he set. And Jensen was not going to get the move done then towards Stowe. Obviously got the move done, and he wins once again. Jensen out on top, Lynx there in second, Rudy there in third with Carlsbury in fourth, Tom there in fifth. What could have been for him? He would have finished second in the end. Fleddy in sixth, Zoidema in seventh, Ares there in eighth, Boss Wanted in ninth, drove well, Black Box there in 10th, Funky Chicken in 11th, Smalley in 12th, Chalkers 13th, Con 14th, Davey 15th, Hyper 16th, Daniel 17th, Chris in 18th, MedTC starting in 19th position. session for the actual feature race, and Juan Rocco right down the back of the field. Of course, not a DNF. He got disqualified for losing control of the car coming through coming through lap 1, I should say. Chris has left the session, might be to get a new setup, but we're now in a period where we're obviously going to transition. But Jensen out on top, Links in second, Rudy in third was the top 3. And we don't normally do interviews, I think, for the sprint race, but focusing on that race, obviously fantastic result for Jensen, extends his championship lead, and is there any stopping him into the feature race?
I don't. Again, the main contenders weren't really there for the most part. I don't want to insult the rest of the field by saying that, but you didn't really see. Rudy was okay, and Rudy was probably his main threat. Mets, just looks kind of lost out there. So I never say never, because in racing you could be leading the race, and like we saw last week, Rudy make a mistake going to corner 1, and I think we're going to have to leave the lobby here to get out of this. So, but at the very least, I think Jensen is probably the one to beat here, but never say never, because one mistake going to corner 1, and next thing you know, we're talking about a Rudy, a Lynx, a Callsby victory possibly, but Jensen does look like the odds-all favorite to win his 3rd race in a row.
Possibly so. I have to wait until and see what the stream is actually doing. At the minute, I can't leave the session, which is great, so might have to be a forced close application, and we might have to go back live in a second. Everyone is leaving the session, so I'm just waiting on everyone leaving the session, but then I have the problem, obviously, of having a 15-20 minute glitch where I can't join a single lobby again. So I think what we're going to do is probably start the stream once again in a couple of minutes' time. We're going to take a little break off stream, and we will be back very shortly indeed. I can't leave the session, so I'm just going to have to close my application. So unfortunately, that is the end of this stream, of course, for the sprint race. Feature race to come very shortly indeed. Hopefully you can join us for that. But until about 2-3 minutes' time, keep tuned into the channel. Keep refreshing the Twitch stream before it comes live. And thank you so much for watching. And until about 2 minutes' time, goodbye.